Good afternoon, everybody. It's 1 o'clock and we're ready to do our online exercise session with CODA ACT. My name's Diane Percy. I am the Strength for Life coordinator here and also a Strength for Life instructor. And I'm joined today by the fabulous Donna O'Brien. And Donna is also a Strength for Life instructor here at the Hughes Community Centre. Donna teaches on Monday and Friday afternoons, and we're both getting really excited about the possibility of coming back to teach, but in the meantime we're really happy that we can provide these classes online for you. Donna also has a class on Mondays called My Heartbeats, and I know there's a lot of her participants who are watching today, so hello, hope you enjoy the day. And what we're going to do is get Donna to do most of the seated exercises today, and so you're welcome to follow the movements that she's doing. I'll be doing most of the standing exercises, and we'll be modifying some of those exercises as well. So it's really important for you to choose the level of intensity that suits you. With the intensity, we're going to be working at a low to moderate intensity. So if you think of 0 as laying in bed, doing nothing at all, and 10 is running as fast as you can, we're working at around a 6 or a 7. So with our cardio component, it's really important that you feel that you are working within that range. If you feel like you're not working hard enough, well then you can take one of the more challenging options. But if you feel like it's a little bit too much for you, remember we've got options to regress. You could be doing the exercise seated or doing it in the simpler way that we'll be showing you. So please do it at your own pace, because we know that there's always a risk of injury when we exercise, so we really want to be aware of doing things that feel right for our body before we go into anything too challenging. And if you haven't been that active during this challenging period that we're in, it's really important to respect your body and be nice and progressive. So today we have cardio, balance and stretch. And just before we get started, I just wanted to let everybody know we have an initiative called Move in May, and part of that initiative is really trying to get older Canberrans to and older Australians to maybe move a little bit more in May. And the options that we're giving you obviously is to do the class with us on the Thursdays. But we've also got access to some great online video content that you might want to look into. Strength for Life exercises coming out of our South Australian team at COTA there. If you're interested in joining our Facebook group, it is a private group. So on the COTA ACT Facebook page, if you go under groups, you'll find Move in May and request to join that group, and you'll get to meet also the Strength for Life instructors and providers in the ACT who are looking forward to seeing you all when things get back to normal. Anyway, that's enough chatting. If you're all ready and if you're starting in your seated position, I'll get you to follow Donna. And we're going to start by warming up the upper body. So if you're standing, I'll just get you to bring your feet about hip width distance apart. Same thing if you're seated, just relaxing your arms down by your side, or you can have your hands on your thighs and just picking the person that you'd like to follow. If you're in a standing position, keep the knees nice and soft, and then in both positions, let's lift up nice and tall through the top of the head. Keep the spine nice and long, and just lift the shoulders up towards the ears and roll them back and down. Let's just do that a few more times. So breathing in and breathing out as you roll back and down. Our breathing, if you can, breathe in through the nose and either breathing out through the nose or the mouth. Really be mindful of not holding your breath while you're doing your exercises. Let's do one more time. And then just settle the shoulders down and we'll warm up into the neck. So let's bring the head to one side and then back to the center and across to the other side. And back to the center and across. So here you might want to feel just a light stretch as you're tilting your head to the side and being very mindful if you've got any tension in your neck, not pushing it too far. Good, let's do one more. And then coming back to the centre, let's turn our head to one side and just glance over your shoulder. And then come back to the centre and turn to the other side. And back to the centre. Now we're used to working with a bit of music, so it's a bit unusual, isn't it? You can see Donna tapping her toes. She's probably going to start singing in a minute. Okay, one more time. Good, and back to the centre. Now let's place our hands on our lap or just in front of us if we're standing. Lace the fingers, turn the palms up, and let's take a breath in and just bring the hands up in front of the chest. And now we're going to push the arms out in front and just a light rounding out of the back, and then open the arms out to the side and then bring them down. Let's do that a few more times. So lacing your fingers, take a breath in as you lift. Now as you breathe out, just pressing forward. Breathe in and open, and down. And remember, the speed that you're moving at, you might want to move just that little bit slower or just a tiny bit faster. More importantly, when we do the cardio exercises, as long as you feel like you're in control and you've got really nice technique, that's perfect. It's important that we all do it at our own pace. Good. Last one. And down. Lovely. And now let's take a breath in. Let the arms raise up in front of the shoulders, and then breathe in and lower. And again, breathing in to lift and breathing out to lower. Now you can raise the arms up a little bit higher if you want. Just see how you feel with your shoulders. You might have one shoulder that wants to move a little bit more than the other. Just go with what feels right for your body. Good. Breathing in and out. Lovely. One more time. As high as you want. Reaching up and down. Good. Now let's take our right arm out to the side. Take a breath in and reach across. We're going to mirror image a little bit here. And back down. And then the other arm. Reaching up and across and down. Now if it's hard for you to reach up and across, I'll get you to keep going, Donna, but I'll just reach across the body. So if you do have problems with your shoulders and that's a difficult thing for your shoulder to do, just bring the arm across the body. Let's do one more time each side. Reach up and across or above and down. Last time, reaching up and across. Good. And down. And now we're going to warm up into the muscles around the spine. So pop your hands up on your shoulders, take a breath in, lift up tall through the top of the head, and as you breathe out, let's just rotate to one side. And then breathe in, come back to the centre, and breathe out and rotate to the other side. And again, breath in, breathe out as you turn, but remember you're lifting up nice and tall. And back to the centre. Good. Breathe out, rotate. And back to the centre. And now this time, rotate to the side. And now we're going to just reach that top arm across and hold on to the outside of the knee. So if you're seated, you just want to have the hand on the outside of the thigh. And the other hand, you might want to just reach down and grab onto the chair. If you're standing like me, you might want to hold on to the hip and just place the other hand on your lower back. So the hips are still facing forward. Good. And then slowly rotate to the centre, lift up tall, let's go to the other side. So remember, if you're standing, just place your hand on your lower back. If you're seated, you've got your hand on the outside of the thigh. Good, and come back to the centre, give it a shake out. Lovely. Okay, let's start to warm up the lower body a bit because we do want to start getting our heart rate up. So let's just start tapping the toes. And place your hands on your thighs. And as you tap the toes, just tap your thigh. So we'll be doing left foot, left hand at the same time. Good. So we're warming up into the front of the shins. Now we want to challenge our coordination, and let's tap the opposite thigh to the foot. So you often have to stop and restart. See, I didn't tell her everything that we were doing. I hope everyone's doing a better job than us. And relax. Lovely. Okay, so let's start lifting heels opposite, one leg at a time. So lifting the heel up to warm up the calf. Now you can continue to do this. With that heel lift, we're warming up the lower leg. If you like, if you're seated or if you're standing, you could be lifting both heels at the same time. You're going to challenge your balance a little bit. And if you've got another chair, you might want to sit the chair just in front of you and place your hands on the back of that chair. We're going to try and press the base of the big toe into the floor. Good. Lovely. One more time. And stop. Lovely. And now just walk the feet out. Good. Lovely. So with that walk, we're going to walk nice and lightly on the floor, so you don't want to feel that you're pounding the floor. And we're going to walk for 3, and then we're going to tap the foot 1 time. So let's slow it down. Let's walk 1, 2, 3 and tap. And then 1, 2, 3 and tap. 1, 2, 3 and tap. Now we're going to work at different paces. Like I said, some people might want to walk a little bit faster. So same thing for Donna and I. We probably won't be moving at the same time, but you pick the person that you want to follow, and you also go with what feels right for you. Good. Now with that toe tap, let's change it a bit to a little kick in front. So it's 1, 2, 3 and kick. 1, 2, 3 and kick. Good. So here you challenge your balance just a little bit more. So if you're feeling uncomfortable with that, you go back to just tapping the floor. Now we'll add some arm movements with that, shall we? Easy ones to start off with. Let's place our hands in front of our shoulders and push forward every time you kick or every time you tap. Tap. Push.
And
How are we doing?
I'll do your slow version.
Oh, that's good. 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 Lovely. Now, if you want, turn that kick into a knee lift. Knee lift. So here we're increasing the intensity a bit. We're also increasing the challenge for your balance. Good. And if the arms and legs don't seem to work well together, go back to working just the lower body, because that's where we get a lot of the energy from. Good. Now let's do the same thing. If you're sitting in the chair, you're going to keep doing the same thing. If you're standing, you might want to walk forward. So walk towards your camera and then walk back to where you started. Every time we travel, we increase the intensity a little bit as well. Good. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's challenge our coordination a little bit. Every time we lift the knee, let's push the opposite arm in front. Push. Push. Good. Standing up nice and tall, sitting up nice and tall. Lovely. Let's do 2 more times like that. Hope you're warming up a little bit. And stop here. Well done. Let's take a little break. Now we've done some forward back movements, but we can do side to side, and we can also do that sitting in the chair. So what Donna's doing is sitting a little bit closer to the front of the chair, and then you start by bringing your feet out to one side slightly, so that you can take 2 steps to one side and then 2 steps to the other. So let's start doing our small steps to the side and then back the other way. 1, 2, 3 and then tap. So it's that same movement, that same 3 walks with a tap. Good. 1, 2, 3 and tap. Good. Now let's add a simple movement for the arms. Let's add a bicep curl. So as we're stepping up and down and up, down. If you're sitting in the chair, sometimes you feel like the muscles in the front of the hip are getting a lot of work. And they work a little bit more than when we're standing. So you're welcome to go from seated to standing whenever you want. Good. Lovely. Good. Let's do one more and stop here. Great. All right. So the next few exercises, we're going to be doing a movement pattern for the feet. Let's keep the legs moving a little bit, even if it's a bit of a toe tap. And the first one, we're just going to be walking forward and back. So starting with your right leg, so stepping forward and back, and forward and back. And so you can still do this one sitting in the chair. And for coordination, let's bring our arms back up in front of the shoulders. And every time you step forward, you're going to press one arm forward, the other arm forward, and then bring it back and back. And now this time, bring the arm down and down and up and up. So press in front again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down, down and up and up. Forward and back. How are we doing?
Out of practice.
See, it's not just the participants that are doing a little bit, living life a bit differently, huh? It's the coordination, it always gets us. And then when you do something wrong, I do something wrong. I think the most important thing, everyone, is just keep going. Let's do one more time.
So no way we can laugh together.
There we go, and stop. All right, we've been leading with your right leg. Now let's lead with our left leg. So stepping forward and stepping back. Stepping forward and stepping back. Good. Now we're very proficient with our arm movements, so it should be easier on this side. So let's press forward and back. Now press down and back up. Forward and back. I think our participants love it when we make mistakes, so it's all good.
We're all human.
We are. We're going to go home and practice this one. And back. Lovely. Let's do 2 more. Forward and down. Good. And forward and back and down. Good. And walk it out. Well done. Nice work. We're getting there.
Can get the cobwebs out.
All right. So our next one, we've done that forward back. This one's called a T-step. So we're combining a few movements. We're going to step forward with our right foot and then our left, and then step out and in and back. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So forward and then out and then in and back. Good. So it looks like a T. So let's do it again. So step forward and out and in and back, and other leg forward and out and in and back. We won't do anything complicated with the arms here. Well, if you want us to, send us a comment if you'd like something really complex for the arm movements, and we will do it, won't we?
So the challenge.
Maybe at the next session. We'd have to practice. And this is one too where you might want to go at your own pace. If you need to move a little bit slower, or if you'd like to walk a bit faster, go ahead. Good. One more time. And back. Lovely. Walk it out. So that was our T-step. And now the last one we've got is a V-step. So we'll start by stepping forward but with our feet apart, and then we walk back and bring the feet together. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So out, and back. Always changing legs, so that we'll start with our right leg, then go to left leg, back to the right leg, left leg. Good. I can see quite a few people have joined us today, so thank you. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Good. Now let's add some arms, shall we? Same thing as we did before. The arms follow the legs, so it's out, out and in, and now the other side. Out, out and in. Out, out and in. Good. Out, out and in. Lovely. Okay, keep going. Now if the arms get tired, you know, you can always just bring them down and do the walking for the legs. Excellent. How are we doing with this one? We could be challenged by doing the opposite thing with the arms, but I think it's just important that we move and not frazzle our brain too much. Lovely. Okay, let's do 3 more times. And 2. And last one. Well done. Walk it out. Nice work. That's great. Good job. We'll do our virtual high five. Now we're going to do some balance exercises. So if you'd like to, if you're seated, come up to standing. You might want to have your chair just by your side so that you can hold on to the chair. But the working on our balance, we'll need to be standing for this one. So just going to check how we're going for time. Perfect. All right. So Donna's got the chair there so that she can pop her hand there at any time if she needs to. And just make sure that you don't have anything around you that might get in the way. We're going to do some simple balance exercises. So one of the exercises that we'll practice helps to strengthen the muscles in the side of the hip. We're going to take this from a yoga pose, a standing yoga pose. So you're going to have your weight on your left leg and you're going to bring your right leg out to the side and just place the ball of the foot on the floor. So if you've got your chair there, you might just want to hold on to the chair. And then we're going to bring the right hand out to the side, turn the palm up. Good. Now we want the weight to go into that left leg, and we're standing up really tall, and we're just going to start to take that right foot off the floor so that we're balancing on our left leg. Now you can stay here if you want, or you might want to bring the arm up towards the ceiling. And if you're not holding on to your chair and you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, you could take the other arm and extend that arm up. Good. And just focus on your breathing now. So let's take a nice deep breath in, long breath out, bring the arms down, and then bring the foot back down onto the floor and walk it out. Did you feel in your standing leg, that hip area, there's a lot of muscles there that are having to work to keep you stable? With the duration of the balance exercise, if you just want to hold it for a few seconds, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to stay for the whole duration either. Okay, so let's try on the other side. So remember, if you've got a chair, hold on to the chair first. Place the ball of the other foot on the floor. And we want to think about our posture before we start to do the exercise. So standing up nice and tall. And now shifting your weight into your right leg, lift the other foot off the floor, and then if you want, extend the arm out to the side. So the arm positions are optional. We'll take you from the easiest version to the more challenging. And then if you want, the arm lifts, and you might want to bring the other arm up and extend that arm towards the ceiling. Good. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out. And then bring the arms down and bring the foot down and walk it out. Lovely. Good. Now you would have felt a lot of work being done around the side of the hip. Now we're going to work on our balance and strengthen the buttock muscles. So if you've got a chair, you want to slide the chair around in front of you, but for everyone to be able to see, it's going to be perfect if it's side on. You might want to scoot the chair just a little bit further forward. Yep, perfect. So this one, where instead of leaning to the side, we're going to start leaning forward. And when you lean forward, you want to make sure that we're not moving from the upper back. So it's really from the hips, and one leg is going to be behind. So place the ball of the foot on the floor, you have your hands on the chair there, yep. And then we're going to start to hinge forward from the hips so that that back foot comes off the floor. And now if you're not holding onto your chair, you might want to place your hands on your hips. The other options for your arms is maybe put the arms out to the side, or you might want to extend the arms out in front. But really think about drawing in your belly button, trying to use those deep abdominal muscles. And then coming back to upright, and then walking the legs out. So if you do have problems with your lower back, or if your balance is really shaky, keep your hands on the chair all the time. Let's keep the focus on our hips and not be too worried about falling. So let's do the other side now. So the other leg goes back. You might have the hands on the hips. Good, or the hands on the chair. So if you pop your hands on the chair there, hold on nice and tight. You notice the standing leg is going to be straight, but there's a soft lock in the knee, so we never lock out the knee. There's the knee. And then start to hinge forward from your hip, and then let that back leg lift off the floor. And if you've got the chair there, just glance down at the seat in front. So you've always got lots of length in the back of the neck. No, as you were doing, that's perfect. Yep, and see the back is nice and flat. And you want to focus on using the buttock muscle to keep the leg lifted. Now you might want to just stay there, or you might want to take one hand off the chair and extend the arm out to the side. Good. And then bring that hand in, and then extend the other arm out. So there's lots of options. You really want to move progressively into this and see how your body handles it. Good. And then if you wanted to, you could think about bringing the arms out in front. If you've got the chair there, I'd be really careful not to dive into your chair. Good. And then back to the centre, and then walk it out. Lovely. Nice work. Good job. Okay, so our last one is going to be a balance exercise that focuses on the muscles in the front of the hip and the thighs, and we're going to put the weight into one leg, so whichever leg we just did, let's switch over. Good. And then bring your other foot forward so the toes are on the ground, and just see how you feel there. If you've got the chair, you hold on to it on the side. And then let's just take the toes off the floor. So this might be far enough for you. If you focus on tightening through the front of the thigh of your lifted leg, it'll work the thigh muscle and the hip. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, let's lift that leg up. And standing up nice and tall. And then with the arms, if you're standing with no support, you might want to place the hands on the shoulders, or have the elbows lifted, or you could still have your hand on the chair and just placing one arm up, or the arm in front, and then come back down. Good, walk it out. Oof, oof, oof. There we go. We'll do some nice stretches at the end. Okay, so last stretch for the other leg. If you've got your chair, you might want to just swing it around, hold on to the chair and extend one foot in front. Start with the foot on the floor so that you can work out how does my balance feel. Make sure we're standing up nice and tall. Brace the belly a little bit, so just gently pulling your navel in. And then when you're ready, lift the ball of the foot off the floor, so lift the toes. And now put the focus into the front of that thigh. Make sure this hip, we're lifting up tall out of that hip, and then lift the knee up. And then it's up to you what you do with your arms. If you're comfortable, just have the arms out by your side. Try that. It's always good to have the chair there just in case. And remember, we also did it with our hands on our shoulders. Make sure you're not leaning back. You don't want to feel any discomfort in your lower back. Good, and then release the arms, release the foot, walk the legs out. Nice work. Good job. All right, so let's move into some of our stretches. The first stretch we'll do is for our calves, and that's mainly because of the work that we did in our cardio component, just to get a bit of length back into the calves. So if you're standing side on, you've got one foot close to the chair and then the other leg back, and both feet are like they're on train tracks, so pointing straight ahead. If you're standing without your chair, just place your hands on your thigh. And if we look at Donna from side on, there'd be a straight line from the ankle, through the knee, through the hip, and even through the shoulder. So if you come forward just a tiny bit and tuck the chin in a little bit, good, get some length in the back of the neck. You always want to feel like your spine is being stretched, you know, through the top of the head. Lovely. And then let's change legs. So same thing on the other side. And just gently pressing your back heel into the ground and lifting the toes a little bit in your back shoe. You feel the stretch there? Yeah. And I don't know about everybody else, but we're doing a lot of walking in our household. We walk morning, lunch and evening. It helps when you've got a puppy as well.
Very spoiled puppy at home.
Yeah, I think all our animals are spoiled at the moment. And so if you're doing a lot of walking, this stretch is very important. When you get back home, do your calf stretch. Good. And then release it out. And now we're going to do a hamstring stretch. So I'll get you to show that stretch seated. And we can also do it standing. So with this one, we want to, if we're seated or standing, hinge forward from the hips, make sure the back is nice and flat. Bring one foot out in front and the hands go on the bent knee. Yeah, we'll start with the foot down just so that you can feel, okay, my hamstring's getting a bit of a stretch, but then lift the toes and then you'll get that extra stretch in your calf as well. If you want, you can reach across with your opposite hand and hold on to the outside of the other thigh and you'll get a little bit of a stretch into your back. And just looking down towards the toes. And then coming back up. So these stretches, you want to hold them for at least 10 seconds. Don't have to do it for a super long period of time. So we're sitting back. The hands on that bent knee is to help support your lower back as well. And then we lift the toes. And then you might find that after a few seconds you could actually move a little bit further forward into your stretch. See how you go. That arm across is optional, holding onto the leg. You feel the stretch in your back? Yeah, it's nice.
If I move my head, I get a different stretch, but that one's nice.
Lovely. And then come on up. Good. Now we're also going to do a front of the thigh and the hip stretch. There's a few ways to do it, and I think the reason why we need to modify is often because of potential knee issues. So I'm going to show you a couple. This is a perfect one sitting on the chair. Can everybody see that okay? You know what? If you want to come up and then turn your chair sideways, I think we'll see it even better. So you're basically doing a lunge, but you're letting the chair support the weight of your body. If you're standing, you'd be doing something similar with a pelvic tilt. So you want to tuck the tailbone under. You want to feel it in the front of the hip and down the front of the thigh. Just make sure whatever chair you're on, that you're not sitting right on the edge. You want to make sure you don't fall over.
One cheek on.
One cheek on. And if you look at Donna's position of the shoulders and the hips and the hips are in line. You don't want to feel like you're leaning back into this stretch. Good. And then we'll come out of that one. So bring that leg forward, just walking around to the other side. You can see that it's quite easy once you get used to the position. And then I'll switch sides here. And if you're in the standing position and you don't quite feel the stretch, you might want to just test by dropping down a little bit. You don't want to feel it shoot straight into your knee. This is really about the hip and the front of the thigh. Lovely. Good. And then come back up. Great. So we've done a lot of stretching for the lower body. Let's finish off with some upper body, and we can all do that seated. So I'll just grab my chair.
Strength training.
Oh, this is the cardio class. All right. So let's reach one arm forward and then bring it across the body and let's hold the back of the upper arm. Let's just give a nice mild stretch for the back of the shoulder. And then at the same time, tilt the head gently to the other side. So you get a nice stretch in your neck. And then come back to the center and then just release. And then reach the other arm forward, bring it across the body. Hold the back of the arm. Very gently tilt the head to the side and just be careful not to let the head tilt back. I want to bring the chin a little bit towards the chest. Good, and then back to the center. Nice work. Now we'll do a spinal rotation, so let's lift the other arm forward, rotate the torso and hold on to the outside of the other knee. Hold on to your chair with the other hand, lift up nice and tall, and then just looking to the side, or you might even want to try glancing over your shoulder if that feels okay. Just feeling a nice mild stretch around your spine, around the upper back, and then coming back to the center. Reach forward with the other arm, bring it across, lift up tall and turn. And then coming back to the center. Nice. And then bring the arms down by your side. Here we've got the thumbs pointing out to the side. Let's lift up tall, and as you breathe out, just bring the arms towards the wall behind you. Lift the top of your chest and press your fingers down towards the floor. You want to feel a stretch in the front of the shoulders, in the upper part of the chest, and then flip the fingers up towards the ceiling so you feel a stretch in your forearm.
Good for carpal tunnel.
And then reach the arms forward, and now we're going to turn the palms down and then curl the fingers towards us. Just a nice light stretch for the other side of our forearms. Top side. Good, and then with the hands, let's just do a bit of a fan with the fingers. So you're going to fan your little fingers in, nice big circle, and then back the other way. Great. And then lace the fingers, press the arms out in front, and we'll do a nice mild stretch for those muscles between the shoulder blades. So we don't want to round out the back a lot, but we want to get a bit of a stretch in there. And you're going to tilt your head forward to bring the chin towards the chest. Just check where your shoulders are. Make sure they're not too close to your ears. Drop them down and away. And then take a breath in, open the arms out to the side, and then bring them down. And now let's take a breath in, reach the arms forward, lift up tall, breathe out, turn the palms down and press them back. And again, deep breath in, reach the arms up a little bit higher this time if you want, and down. And remember, you go as high as you comfortably can. Breathe in and out. Lovely. One more time, deep breath in and out. Well done. Give the arms a little bit of a shake, give the shoulders a little roll, give the legs a bit of a shake out. Well done, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, we've got to do our virtual high fives so that we're not too close to each other. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, we have a private Facebook page that you can join called Move in May. Hope that you'll come along and join us and meet all the other instructors who are teaching Strength for Life and lots of other different things. Have a great week. We'll see you again next week. Thanks so much to Donna for coming. It's always lots of fun to have someone to do these sessions with. And we'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Say hello to you again.
Hey, Vivian, Cash,
She was
Lorna.
fabulous. She was fabulous. Thanks. Bye, everyone.